Captain Black and the
Captain Black and the Winter Soldier. It's Black Falcon and the White Soldier. So you finally saw it then. You saw the Black Falcon and the Mexican Falcon.
Captain Black and the Mexican Falcon.
You asked for me. Here I am.
We knew from the beginning this wasn't going to be a great film. Because his TV show wasn't a great TV show. I like Anthony Mackie. I do. I
do too. I think that's what hurts the most is I like Anthony Mackie, and I like him as the Falcon. Like, I thought it was really funny when he got his ass kicked by Ant-Man. That was great, but
also, he's got enough charisma to carry a project, like Twisted Metal.
That's where the cars and guns come in.
Yes.
It was fantastic, and he was a big part of that, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not any kind of strong material, but he pulled it off.
Yeah.
And he was like basically keeping the TV series together, even though it didn't. He was doing the best he could.
You're saying Twisted Metal had a paper-thin plot? Is that what you're saying?
This never happened to me before. Really? Man. Oh, man.
It's a video game movie. It was fine for what it was.
Yes.
I really, really enjoyed it.
I did too, but it was one of those movies where you didn't enjoy it because, oh my gosh, this story is so riveting. You enjoyed it because it was fun.
What was the plot line in Captain Black and New World Order? What was the plot?
The green dude.
There's the mega brain guy that we saw in the first movie.
You know what? If you can summarize the Winter Soldier, you've pretty much got the plot for this movie because it's exactly the same.
There's Adamantium, but we're not going to bring up the Wolverine or X-Men.
Yeah, that was a fun tease.
Like, okay, why bring up Adamantium? Okay. And all the countries want to fight for it, except only the US and Japan are actually going to fight for it.
That makes perfect sense.
And then this brain guy has other plans and some stuff happens. You don't see any of the stuff happening. You have these like 6 or 7 bits of dialogue scenes where they're just explaining, well, President, I'm glad that you came to your senses and surrendered and gave yourself up and agreed to sit in prison, even though you could turn into the Red Hulk and escape at any time. Boy, I'm really glad that the Japanese ambassador met with us and we agreed to push this peace treaty through.
You're like, when the hell did this happen?
Off camera, you're just having these moments of explanatory dialogue. That's not how you do a movie.
There's also no way to really judge time in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I swear the president was like on an aircraft carrier, and then the very next scene he's like giving a speech in front of, like, when did that happen? How did we get here?
I had trouble following it, not because it's complex, mostly because it's very boring. Very boring. I found myself bored within the first 5 minutes, and sure enough, out comes the World of Warships, available now at the Google App Store.
Please sponsor us.
I was bored immediately. And at that point, once you've lost me, you're going to have a hard time hooking me back in. And it never did. And at 20 minutes in, I asked Beetroot, do you understand anything that's going on here? And he's on his phone. He's like, I don't know. And he went back to his phone. You couldn't hold the 16-year-old's attention. You're not going to hold mine.
Captain America caught without his wing.
I think there were a lot of scenes that were different originally, and then they changed it, but they left some elements in, and it was weird. Like, there's one scene where this dude pulls out a knife, and he ends up cutting Black Falcon's, or Captain whatever his name is.
Captain America now, yeah.
Captain America. He ends up cutting his suit.
Yeah.
And he looks down at it, and he's like astonished, like, what the hell just happened? And I'm like, that was probably supposed to mean something. I think that dude had an adamantium knife that cut through his vibranium armor or whatever. So we were all supposed to be like, oh, but then they're like, no, you know what? We probably shouldn't bring that up yet because we don't know what we're doing with adamantium. It's just here, so.
I know that scene, and instead what went through my mind was, hasn't this guy just been stabbed twice in 2 days? He's been stabbed twice in 2 days. And we explained later with some ridiculous throw, oh, you got wire mesh on your peritonium? Yeah, okay, great, move on.
You're fine.
No, you're not going to get away with that. And there was great potential here. There was really great potential. This could have been really good. The older Captain America, the original, they took the black soldiers and they tested on us and they experimented and then they threw us away. Show me that. Make this guy the fucking main protagonist or antagonist. He's a much more interesting character than anybody else you've shown me. And he has 10 lines of dialogue in the whole movie.
They were afraid take that extra step, right? So they were like, all right, this is the first black Captain America. Do you want to highlight that? No, don't even mention it. Just gloss over that and just do Captain America stuff.
Is that the fear of being accused of DEI stuff?
I think so. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I don't think it would have been damned. If they did it well, it would resonate because people would think, we actually did that to the Tuskegee Airmen. We actually did that. We gave black soldiers smallpox intentionally. We've done shit like this for real. It's not DEI, it's reality. Show me this guy going through, no, I'm loyal to my country, I love America, but this government has turned corrupt. You could have done a lot with that.
It certainly would have been a more interesting story. As opposed to the generic action flick that we got that...
Where he's karate fighting 6 guys, but just in the scene earlier, he had the shield and he smashes through the face, which would probably push the craniofacial bones through the skull and kill the guy. And he's got the wings that could slice a guy clean in half, but instead he's karate fighting this guy and getting beat up. None of this makes any sense, man.
No, it's just stylized and goofy and boring. And
I hate to say this. I mean, if there's any problem with DEI, it's on the production team. Directed by Julius Ona, a black guy who hasn't done anything, but they felt obligated to hire a black guy. Okay, Coogler couldn't have done this? Spike Lee could have done this. I'm betting there's a dozen young up-and-coming black directors who are waiting for their big shot who have a lot more skill and talent that could have done this.
Yeah, but none of them want to put their names on a Marvel project. Certainly none of them want to come into a Marvel project and be told, I know you're a great director, but don't do it your way. We have all these executives and they're going to tell you what to do and you have to do it their way instead.
Maybe, but Anthony Mackie was the producer. I think that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to give an opportunity to a young up-and-coming black director and young up-and-coming black screenwriters who clearly didn't have the experience for this. They weren't ready for this yet.
Yeah.
It's the same shit they did to Leslie Headland. She was not ready for this.
Yeah.
And I think once they got in there, the studio started, you're not going to push this black super soldier shit. We're already getting complaints that we're too woke. Disney's gone woke. We can't do it. And they tied the man's hands. I'm pulling this all out of my ass. I have no idea.
Right.
All I know, it was a
you can
sloppy, incomprehensible mess, and we'll never know why it ended up like that.
That's all you can do, is you can just speculate as to what in the hell could have happened behind the scenes to turn it into this slog fest.
Since when were they red?
But I will give it one thing. It's not insulting. Like, I didn't walk out of the movie. Yeah. Walk out of the movie. I didn't watch it in the theater. What am I talking about? I didn't turn this off and then feel angry. Like, I didn't feel like I had to throw my beer at the screen or anything. I was just like, well, I guess that's over. Click. Does anything that happened have any relevance to anything else in the Marvel Universe? No. This is just a thing that happened. I'm like, okay. Now it's over. And
then it ends with Captain America will return.
Sure.
And I asked out loud, does he have to? Because what more in this story? Okay, we're going to rebuild the Avengers. It's not going to be the original Avengers. It's going to be this new group of guys that get the tag Avengers put on them, and the fan base is going to be mad. That's not Tony Stark. That's not Mark Buffalo. That's not the guys I love.
So you didn't watch the Thunderbolts, then, I take it?
No,
well,
I didn't.
Well, judging by the box office returns, not a lot of people did. But.
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts.
Under pressure.
It's the Thunderbolts and little asterisks next to it, and everybody guessed. We were like, okay, so they're going to be the next Avengers. And then, yes, that's your Avengers team for now.
Call them Thunderbolts or call them Avengers. The end result is the same. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't think I do either. So we had Captain America, and that was like a financial flop. And then we had the Thunderbolts, which lost $120 or $150 million loss. So that was another flop. And at that one, I guess it was actually kind of good, but nobody wanted to give it a chance. Because it's just like, no. So now we've got the Fantastic Four coming out. And this is like the 5th time they've tried this.
No one has given a shit in any of those iterations. Not even a little bit. Why is this going to be different?
I don't know.
This one has Galactus!
As a casual viewer, you're like, didn't we see this? We saw this Fantastic Four shit like 5 times. I don't need to see it again.
I mean, okay, we have a sexy Silver Surfer now. I guess.
That's
kinda
cool.
neat, I guess.
Is she naked?
Well, I mean, she's all silver.
Yeah. I don't know. I figured she was like those girls that like wear paint instead of clothes.
Oh, it's all gonna be green screen CGI bullshit. It's all mocap bullshit, man.
Never mind then.
I don't know. This was just. I don't want to say I was disappointed because I didn't care.
Any bit of interest that I had, you just took that away from me. Now
sorry.
it's all gone.
So Mo, you can create one with your AI generator here that fits whatever parameters you give it.
This car?
This is a real problem, right? This is, if the Fantastic Four does not do well, that's going to be their 3rd flop in a row. And then the only thing they have to fall back on then is whatever the Avengers does. So they're going to do Avengers Doomsday.
Great.
But you don't have the same buildup that you had before. Like, we all rushed out to see the Avengers because, holy crap, I've seen
we
every
had Hulk,
movie.
and we had Iron Man, and we had Thor, and now they're all coming together.
Oh my God, wait! Now we're going to have a new movie, and it's like, I didn't watch half of the other stuff that came out, and the other half I didn't care about.
Yeah,
so...
that's exactly it. It's like, would you have rushed out to see Avengers if you didn't watch Thor or any of the Iron Man films?
Yeah, if you
just out of the blue Avengers, like, oh, okay.
I guess these superhero people get together, but I don't understand why. The only one I saw was the second Thor movie. I didn't see anything else.
Right, it's not gonna, and that's what's happening here. Nobody saw Captain America. Nobody saw Thunderbolts. Nobody saw Eternals. None of this is gonna make sense.
No.
So you'll have the nostalgia. Oh, okay, it's the old Avengers and Robert Downey. That'll pay off. It's gonna make its money back just on the nostalgia, but it's not gonna launch whatever they think their next phase is. It's not gonna work.
I don't think it is. I think this will be the first Avengers film to just maybe break even. Like, it'll squeak across the finish line with a break even, but it's not going to be this massive thing where people are lined out the door like they were for the other films.
And even if it is, it's not going to lead to where they think it's going to go. They're not going to be able to maintain this. They're not going to get Age of Ultron.
This is a one-off. This is a one-off and done. And as soon as they're done with this, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be like, remember when I said I'm out, and then you gave me $1 billion to come back? All right, now I'm seriously out. Done.
Yeah. Unless you double that fee, in which case your movie is now just financially unsustainable.
Well, most of those are financially unsustainable.
So. What a bummer. So this was just a boring movie.
Speaking of which, how do you feel about Superman?
I'm excited about Superman.
I am too.
Superman.
I'm excited because I trust that James Gunn understands what Superman is. It looks and feels like the Richard Donner Supermans.
Yeah.
And that's what started all this shit.
It feels like a Richard Donner Superman, but obviously with modern effects.
I'm fine with that.
Stuff, which is fine. I'm glad. I think it'd be really cool. It looks like it would be fun.
Yeah.
And they recently released what the budget was for that movie, and it ended up being like 210, I think, or 220 million dollars.
That's pre-marketing, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's still like
it's not a
$2 million less than the average lately Marvel film.
Hey, Chuck, the editor from the future, saying that I just found a whole bunch of reports saying that that budget might actually be closer to $365 million. But James Gunn is saying, no, that's not the case. Nobody seems to know the actual budget, so it's all over the place. So I'm just going off of what it says on Wikipedia right now, which is the original 225 million. So I feel like I wasn't that wrong. I was maybe a little wrong.
Okay. You might actually recover that.
Oh, I think they will. I think this is going to be an enormous hit.
You think so?
Because people are so starved for something good in this genre. And it's, okay, it's James Gunn. He's got a great track record.
Right. We
and
like
it's
his
DC. It's not Marvel bullshit. Let's see if these guys got it right.
I think it's less DC, more James Gunn right now.
Whatever.
Because we just had the other DC movies, and The Flash came out, and nobody gave a shit about The Flash and all these other.
Because even your casual fans when they see another superhero movie, they can see right away, oh, this is different. It isn't the Marvel guys. And someone, oh, no, it's not the Avengers shit.
Yeah.
This is old school Superman.
Do you remember Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, that was so much fun.
The same guy that did that.
Oh my God,
was
Groot
really
is so
fun.
funny. I want to see it. That's what you're going to get. When he did a little baby Groot, that was so funny. I want to see it. Oh my God, I totally want to go see Superman with you. I love superhero movies.
Well, you know what? You managed to somehow make this movie that had a talking tree and a talking raccoon, and we all cared and loved it. So I think you can do something pretty cool with solid, DC heroes. I think you can do something great. So I am very hopeful for it. And the other thing that gave me hope, and just kills all hope for Fantastic Four, is Fantastic Four had reshoots.
Oh.
They had not just a little bit. We're talking about like months of reshoots, like major reshoots done.
That's never a good sign.
Hollywood Reporter jumped in. They were like, holy crap, they did a test screen, which test screens are pretty common, but like after that, they were like, okay, we're gonna change this, we're gonna change this. And everybody's coming back going, oh, it's the same Marvel tropes that you're so sick of. The jokes, the goofy, over-the-top girl bossing that happens at the end. Spoiler, by the way, I hope I'm not giving anything away, or that you care, but supposedly the movie is going to end with Sue Storm teaming up with the female Silver Surfer, and the two of them
fight Galactus. That makes perfect sense. That's exactly what Marvel would do. You're right. It's precisely what Marvel would do.
Right. So they take off and they save the galaxy because girls get it done.
Girls get it done.
And they're like, come on. What's happening here?
Fine. Fine. This is an aside, but I'm dismayed that they haven't learned the lesson.
They're so stupid!
After this much money lost, that formula doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Stop doing the same shit. We've seen this a dozen times. It's failed 11 out of 12. Stop fucking doing this.
So Superman had reshoots. But it wasn't reshoots. It was, what do you call it? It's like is it a callback? Is that what or not a callback? It's
like for voiceover stuff, for audio dubs.
Yeah. So basically their reshoots, it was like 3 days worth of stuff. They're ahead of schedule. So the movie's done, and all this extra time they have waiting for the actual release is just being spent on cleanup and effects, make it perfect, make it polished.
So while they're editing, somebody coughed during this line of dialogue.
Yeah.
You get the guy back in the sound booth to re-record this line of dialogue.
You can go back. You can have that dude that does the special effects, who looks like hair out to here. He's like, oh God, and he can actually watch the film and go, oh, I missed that, and then clean it.
Shit, do we have any money left in the budget? Well, yeah, we're 3 weeks ahead of schedule. I would really love to go back and fix this little. It looks really dumb when you look at it this way. That's great. That's what reshoots and post-production is for.
Yes.
Not, oh my God, this is the stupidest movie ever. We have to start all over.
Quick, call everybody back.
We got to redo all of Act 3. This is fucking crap.
That's how a lot of these budgets get so overblown, though.
Yes.
We had a budget of $200 million, and then we needed another $200 million because we shot the whole movie twice.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Anyway.
Actually, I worked with Anthony Mackie on one of my very first movies that I ever did.
Did you?
It was called Crossover. It was garbage.
Was it?
It was a blaxploitation basketball movie.
Nice.
But we were just sitting there chilling for a few minutes, and they call out, we need Mackie in 5, and he'd immediately switch gears, I got to get into my process. I'm like, oh, this dude's pretentious as f.
That's awesome.
But he was still young. He thought this is how you be a Hollywood actor. You have to go deep inside yourself.
It was what's the dude who played Thanos and all that?
James Brolin.
Brolin. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that name.
Because he sucks.
Okay, that's probably it. In the Goonies, the behind the scenes stuff,
yes.
it's Brolin and Richard Donner. And they're all making fun of each other. By the way, the Goonies, if you
one of the greatest movies.
Like the DVD commentary,
oh yeah,
it's the funniest freaking thing, because it's like all 8 of them plus and it's just chaos. But there's a moment in the cave, and they're making fun of Brolin. They're like, do you remember you were looking at the cave and you were doing this whole all right, so I'm in the cave because I'm imagining this is like my mother's womb. And I don't like the cave entrance because it leads to the outside. Is that my motivation? And Spielberg looked right at me and goes, how about you just act and just say the words on the page? How's that sound?
In an interview for People magazine, he recounts saying, I think Brandon is freaking out and the tunnels represent the inside of his mother's womb, and he's trying to cut that umbilical cord. Spielberg replied, why don't you just act? Just say the words on the page. You'll be fine.
Well, I don't know what I'm excited for. I guess I'm excited for Superman. I don't really give a crap about the Fantastic Four. I'm probably not going to rush out for it.
No.
I don't wish failure upon them, but I certainly smell failure about to happen.
Well, I mean, the last half a dozen times we said, good, maybe they'll learn their lesson this time. Good, maybe they'll learn their lesson this time. Good, maybe they'll learn their lesson this time. They've yet to learn their lesson.
No. DC, on the other hand, did this huge pivot. And they're like, oh, you know what? Shut it all down. But The Rock is going to be... kill it. You have to let us know in the comments if there's something you're excited about. Any of these superhero films. I think that's all that's coming, right? Is the Fantastic Four, Avengers Doomsday, and Superman.
Superhero stuff,
So
yeah.
out of those superhero films, do you care about any of them at all?
The only other movie this year that I'm looking forward to is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
That looks freaking fantastic.
Later on this year. I'm really...
Wow,
he's
that
one of my
looks
favorite
good.
directors. He's one of the greatest filmmakers in the world. I'll see everything he does.
It looks really well done. Yeah. I'm definitely excited for that. There's a handful of things that I'm actually excited for. Good. None of the things we talked about just now are on that list. Except for, I guess I'm kind of excited for Superman. I want that to be good. Good. All right. We're going to catch you on another episode. Ciao. Later.